There are a number of hotkeys and shortcuts in Sage CRM that can make it easier and quicker for you to work within the system. This is especially true if you're engaged in a fast-paced environment. So let's jump right in and take a look. Let's start with the calendar that you'll find under My CRM. Here we have our action buttons, and notice that several have an underlined letter in their label. The underlined letter, when pressed in combination with the Alt key, performs the action of the button. So let's start with the first action, List View. Currently, our tasks and appointments shown here are in a calendar view. We can switch to a list view by hitting Alt-V, and this shows us our appointments and tasks sorted by date and time. Notice that the Calendar View button is now available, and using the same hotkey, Alt-V, we're returned to the Calendar View. So Alt-V is a toggle between calendar and list views. Moving to the New Task button, we can open a new task using the hotkeys Alt-T. To close this screen without making any changes, we can hit the Cancel button or use its hotkey combo Alt-C. Alt-C can be used throughout Sage CRM to cancel any data entry screen that has a Cancel button. Moving to the next action button, we can launch a new appointment by hitting Alt-A. And again, we can cancel and close this data entry screen by hitting Alt-C. Next, we have the new Email button, which we can launch by hitting Alt-E. And once again, we'll cancel and close by hitting Alt-C. The last button here launches the help system. However, when you hit Alt-P, you'll likely find that it either does nothing or opens a menu associated with your Internet Explorer browser rather than opening the help system. So if you need to access the help system, you'll need to click the button. The hotkeys that we've covered here are all available on the Person and Company Communication tabs. Let's take a quick look by going to the Recent list, and we'll select Simon Yoltoy and open his Communication tab. Here you can see that we have the same set of action buttons as the Calendar tab, and the same Alt key combinations apply here. Now let's go back to My CRM, and here we'll take a look at a few more hotkeys and some shortcuts that we can use when entering tasks, appointments, opportunities, and cases. We'll demonstrate by entering a task, so we'll hit Alt-T to open the task screen. We'll begin by entering Simon Yoltoy as the person, but we'll just type his first name and first letter of his last name. At this point, we can either hit the Enter key or click on the Finder. We'll keep our fingers on the keyboard and hit Enter, and the system automatically matches Simon and associates his company as well. Let's now clear these fields, and we'll again enter Simon, but this time we'll leave off the Y of his last name. Now when we hit Enter, the result is a long list of Simons. We can see Simon Yoltoy at the bottom of the list, but we still don't need to leave the keyboard to select him. We'll just quickly type a space and the letter Y, then hit Enter, and once again the system makes the match. So by using the Enter key as a shortcut, we could speed through a Finder type field without grabbing our mouse. Now moving to the details, let's enter Prepare a quote. And next we'll enter the task due date, and we'll select the 10th, and we'll set the time to 10 a.m. We can set a reminder for the task by checking the box here. By default, the date and time for the on-screen reminder notification will be the date and time that we set above. Now let's suppose that we need to change the due date and time of the task, and we'll change it to the 21st, and we'll set the new time to 10:30 a.m. Notice that our reminder did not update when we changed the due date and time. So here's the shortcut. Rather than open and edit the reminder date and time fields, all you need to do is uncheck, then recheck the reminder field, and notice that the date and time now default to the task due date. Now we're ready to save the task, and here we'll introduce another hotkey combo, Alt-S, which saves and closes the entry screen. Note that Alt-S works on all data entry screens within Sage CRM that have a Save button. Now we'll look at one more shortcut before we close, and this one involves the Recent list, which, as the name implies, shows your recently visited entities. If you don't happen to find what you're looking for on the recent list, you'll need to use the Finder to do a search. However, it's not necessary to go back to the Finder button. You can simply click on the entity label on the recent list to open the Finder. So for example, if we need to search for a company, we can simply click on the company label here to launch the company search screen. And that completes our tutorial. So to recap, we've shown you a number of hotkeys and shortcuts that can help you work easier and faster in Sage CRM. So now go ahead and try them out. Give us a call if you need assistance with this or any other feature in your Sage CRM system. Well, that's it for this tutorial. Bye for now.